It's 2 p.m. and you hit a wall. Not sleepy exactly, flattened. Your eyes get heavy, your focus dissolves, and the work in front of you suddenly feels like wading through wet sand. You reach for coffee or something sweet, and for 20 minutes it helps, and then you're right back in the fog. And here's the thing nobody tells you. This happens at almost the exact same time every single day. That is not a lack of discipline, and it is not you getting old. Your body is running a scheduled program every afternoon, and once you see what it actually is, you'll stop fighting it like it's a personal failing. Quick thing before we dig in. Comment what time your crash usually hits. Just the time. I see the same narrow window show up over and over in these comments, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I think it's the pattern. And if you'd rather understand your body than fight it, subscribe. That's the whole channel. Okay, here's what's really happening at 2 p.m. Start with what everyone blames, the lunch. I ate too much, that's why I'm crashing. And there's a sliver of truth there, which we'll get to, but it is not the real story. Because here's the strange part. People who skip lunch entirely still feel the afternoon dip. Studies of human alertness find the same slump lands in the early afternoon whether you ate a big meal, a small one, or nothing at all. So if the crash shows up even without food, the food cannot be the thing driving it. Something deeper is running the clock, and the lunch is just getting the blame. That something is your circadian rhythm, the internal 24-hour cycle that governs when you feel alert and when you don't. Most people picture it as a simple sleep-wake switch, awake in the day, asleep at night. But it isn't on-off. Built into that rhythm is a second, smaller dip in alertness that lands in the early afternoon, roughly between 1 and 3 o'clock. Your drive to be awake quietly sags for a couple of hours, then climbs back up on its own toward evening. This is not a flaw, and it is not a sign anything is wrong. It's a designed trough, so universal across humanity that entire cultures built the afternoon siesta directly around it. The wall you slam into at 2 p.m. is a scheduled event your body has been running since long before you had a job to be tired at. And you can actually see this trough out in the real world, far beyond your own desk. The early afternoon is statistically one of the most common windows for car accidents and ordinary human errors. A whole society full of people quietly running the same dip at the same hour, all trying to power through it with caffeine and willpower. You are not the one weak person on the couch losing a fight with sleep. You are the rule, not the exception, and the whole species is in it with you. And the timing gets worse from there. The cortisol that gave you your natural lift first thing in the morning has been quietly tapering off for hours by now. So right as the built-in afternoon dip arrives, the hormone that was propping you up has faded out. The lift is gone, the trough has landed, and your alertness bottoms out. And this quietly reframes the caffeine habit, too. That mid-morning cup didn't stop working at 2 p.m. because you've built a tolerance or because something in you is broken. It faded right on schedule, at the same time your own internal lift was fading and the afternoon trough was rolling in. 3 separate things winding down at once, all landing in the same hour. That alone is enough to make anyone drowsy. But it still doesn't fully explain the heavy, foggy, can't-string-a-thought-together crash that so many people get, because there's a second system stacking right on top of the circadian dip, and this one, unlike the rhythm, you actually have a hand in. This is where the lunch finally matters, just not in the way you always assumed.
Here's the amplifier. When you eat a lunch heavy in fast carbs, the sandwich, the pasta, the pastry, the sugary drink, your blood sugar spikes quickly. Your body answers with a surge of insulin to pull it back down, and it often overshoots, dropping your blood sugar lower than where it started. That dip in fuel arrives in the early afternoon, and, this is the cruel timing, it lands right on top of the circadian trough that was already coming. 2 separate dips stacking in the same moment. The gentle, scheduled sag becomes a genuine crash. So your lunch didn't create the wall. It took a wall you were going to hit anyway and made it twice as tall. And there's a third quiet passenger in all this. From the moment you wake up, a molecule called adenosine has been slowly building in your brain. It's the pressure that makes sleep feel so good at night. By early afternoon, there is already a real amount of it pushing down on you, adding its own weight to the dip. Rhythm, blood sugar and sleep pressure all converging on the exact same window. No wonder it feels like a wall. Now here's the trap most people fall into. You feel the crash, so you reach for more coffee and something sweet. The sugar spikes your blood sugar again and sets up the very same insulin overshoot and crash an hour or two later. The quick fix quietly books your next crash. You're not failing to push through. You're riding a roller coaster you keep climbing back onto. So why does all of this hit so much harder after 40? Two shifts. First, as you age, your body tends to handle blood sugar less efficiently, so the spike and crash swings get sharper and the amplifier bites harder. Second, if your sleep has quietly gotten lighter and more broken over the years, waking at 3 a.m., less deep sleep, you're carrying more of that adenosine sleep pressure into the day. You start the afternoon with a fuller tank of tiredness, so the same scheduled dip drops you further down. Nothing about you got weaker. It's the same dip you always had. You're just meeting it now with less of a buffer than you had at 30. And here's the twist that should change how you treat the whole thing. The 2 p.m. crash is not a malfunction. It is not a warning light that something inside you is broken. It's a normal, built-in feature of being human, a rhythm your body runs on purpose. The only reason it feels like a problem is that modern life demands peak focus in the exact window your biology scheduled to trough. You are not failing the afternoon. You're fighting a rhythm that was never designed to bend around a 2 o'clock meeting. Think about what that reframe actually does. For years, you may have read that 2 p.m. fog as proof that you're lazy or out of shape, or that your diet is failing, or that age is finally catching up with you. And none of that was the real story. The real story is that your body scheduled a rest window, modern life scheduled a deadline on top of it, and the two collided, exactly as they were always going to. That's not a flaw in you. That's a mismatch between an ancient rhythm and a modern calendar. One honest note, this is general education, not medical advice. A normal afternoon dip is one thing, but crushing, all-day exhaustion that never lifts is worth a real conversation with your doctor, because problems like thyroid issues, sleep apnea, and anemia can hide behind "I'm just tired." For the ordinary 2 p.m. wall, though, now you know the schedule behind it. So next time the fog rolls in right on cue and your hand drifts toward the coffee, you'll know it isn't weakness, it's a rhythm, an amplifier, and a sleep debt all landing at once. And if you'd rather understand your body than blame it, subscribe.